Hello everyone. Welcome back to Anime Breakdown. Today we are continuing the amazing series Demon Slayer with episode 2, Trainer Sakonji Urokodaki. If you haven't watched episode 1 yet, make sure to check it out first. Now let's continue the story without wasting any time. In the previous episode, we saw Tanjiro's entire family get killed by a demon. Only his sister Nezuko survived, but after being bitten by a demon, she also started turning into one. Before leaving, the demon slayer told Tanjiro to go to Mount Sagiri and meet a man named Sakonji Urokodaki. So now Tanjiro begins his journey while carrying Nezuko with him. While traveling, Tanjiro enters a small village because he needs bamboo and a basket for Nezuko. He visits a farmer and politely asks if he can take some old bamboo and a broken basket. The farmer says those things are useless anyway, so Tanjiro can take them for free. But Tanjiro still gives him money because of his kind nature. Later, Tanjiro calls out for Nezuko, but she is hiding inside a hole in the ground out of fear. Since demons die in sunlight, Nezuko refuses to come outside during the day. Tanjiro then repairs the basket and gets an idea. He asks Nezuko if she can fit inside it so he can carry her safely while traveling during daytime. At first, the basket is too small, but Tanjiro remembers how Nezuko suddenly grew bigger during the previous fight. So he asks if she can do the opposite and shrink herself instead. Surprisingly, it works. Nezuko makes her body smaller and fits perfectly inside the basket. Tanjiro places the basket on his back and continues the journey. On the way, a woman warns him not to travel during the night because many people in that area have recently disappeared. Tanjiro thanks her and says as he will be careful. After some time, night falls. While walking through the forest, Tanjiro suddenly smells blood. He immediately grabs Nezuko's hand and runs toward a nearby temple where a light is still on. Tanjiro opens the door and asks if everyone is all right, but the moment he steps inside, he freezes in shock. A demon has already attacked the people there and is eating their flesh. The demon notices Tanjiro and Nezuko and warns them that anyone entering his territory will die. Seeing all the blood causes Nezuko to start drooling. But before anything happens, the demon attacks Tanjiro. Tanjiro quickly swings his axe and cuts the demon's neck. However, the demon starts laughing and says that normal weapons cannot kill him. Right in front of Tanjiro's eyes, the wound completely heals. Suddenly, the demon disappears and attacks Tanjiro from behind. He grabs Tanjiro by the throat and starts choking him. Just when it looks like Tanjiro is about to die, Nezuko rushes forward and kicks the demon so hard that his head flies off. But even after losing his head, the demon is still alive. Nezuko attacks again and sends the demon's body crashing into a tree. The demon becomes furious after realizing that Nezuko is also a demon. He cannot understand why a demon is protecting a human instead of eating him. The demon suddenly grows extra arms and attacks Nezuko violently. Seeing his sister getting hurt makes Tanjiro panic. He picks up his axe and tries to save her, but the demon keeps overpowering them. In desperation, Tanjiro headbutts the demon with all his strength. The attack actually stuns him for a moment. Tanjiro then throws his axe into a tree, trapping the demon's head and arms. Tanjiro quickly rushes toward Nezuko to protect her. He becomes furious after seeing how badly she was hurt. But during the struggle, Tanjiro accidentally falls off a cliff. Thankfully, Nezuko grabs his hand before he can die. At the same time, the demon's body falls from the tree, leaving only the trapped head behind. Tanjiro walks toward the demon and pulls out a knife. He realizes that this demon was not the one who killed his family, but if he leaves him alive, more innocent people will die. Tanjiro raises the knife, but he cannot force himself to kill the demon. Then, suddenly, a mysterious man wearing a red mask appears in front of him. The masked man tells Tanjiro that the knife will not kill the demon. He points toward a large rock nearby, making Tanjiro realize that he must crush the demon's head instead. But once again, Tanjiro hesitates. He has never killed anyone before. The masked man notices this and becomes interested in Tanjiro. Even while facing a demon, Tanjiro still shows kindness. Meanwhile, the demon starts screaming and threatening Tanjiro, promising to kill him if he survives. But before anything else can happen, the sun finally rises. The moment sunlight touches the demon, his body starts burning. Within seconds, the demon turns into ashes and disappears completely. Tanjiro suddenly remembers Nezuko and runs toward the temple in panic. There, he finds her already hiding safely inside the basket before sunrise. Tanjiro feels relieved. He then notices that the masked man has buried all the dead bodies from the temple. The mysterious man finally introduces himself. His name is Sakonji Urokodaki, the same person Tanjiro was searching for. Tanjiro immediately explains that Giyu Tomioka sent him here. But before Tanjiro can say anything else, Urokodaki asks him a serious question. What will you do if your sister starts eating humans? Tanjiro becomes completely silent. He cannot answer immediately. Suddenly, Urokodaki slaps him hard and says that Tanjiro's decision-making is too slow. According to him, Tanjiro failed to kill the demon, even after having multiple chances. Urokodaki then tells him something terrifying. If Nezuko ever attacks humans, Tanjiro will only have two choices: either kill Nezuko himself, or commit suicide for failing to stop her. Tanjiro listens carefully and promises that Nezuko will never hurt innocent people. After hearing this, Urokodaki decides to test him. He tells Tanjiro to carry Nezuko on his back and follow him. Urokodaki suddenly starts running through the mountains at incredible speed. Tanjiro struggles to keep up and cannot believe how fast an old man can move. He also notices something strange. Even while running, Urokodaki makes almost no sound at all. Tanjiro remembers a moment from the past where Nezuko was sewing her kimono. Tanjiro had offered to buy her a new one, but Nezuko refused and said the money should instead be used to feed their younger siblings. Tanjiro then promised that one day he would turn Nezuko back into a human and buy her a brand new kimono. After a long run, Urokodaki finally stops near a mountain temple. Tanjiro, completely exhausted, asks if he passed the test, but Urokodaki says the real test has not even started yet. He takes Tanjiro to the top of a dangerous mountain and tells him to return home before sunrise. After saying this, Urokodaki disappears into the snowy fog. At first, Tanjiro feels confident because of his powerful sense of smell. But the moment he starts moving, he accidentally triggers a trap. Rocks slam directly into his face, causing him to fall into a deep pit. Tanjiro quickly realizes that the entire mountain is filled with deadly traps. If he keeps getting caught, he will never make it down before morning. The higher altitude also makes breathing difficult for him. Finally, Tanjiro calms himself down. He closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and begins focusing carefully on the smell of each trap around him. Slowly, he starts avoiding them one by one. Back at home, Urokodaki watches from a distance. To his surprise, Tanjiro successfully avoids every trap and finally reaches the house before sunrise. We then see a flashback where Giyu Tomioka had sent Urokodaki a letter. In the letter, Giyu explains that Tanjiro wants to become a demon slayer and that Nezuko is somehow different from other demons. He also mentions Tanjiro's incredible sense of smell and asks Urokodaki to train him. Back in the present, Urokodaki looks at Tanjiro and finally says that he is ready to accept him as his student. And with that, episode 2 comes to an end.